the man I believe, and I said it on the show this morning, is going to be your new AEW World Champion on Saturday at All Out is the proto star himself, Mr. Kyle Fletcher. Sir, Kyle, how are you, my
I am
friend?
fantastic, a little bit sleepy, but happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
I mean, I would think so because I went to bed seeing you with two titles above your head, and then I wake up and here we are talking to you. Hey, man, this is the life of a superstar, Kyle. You
Hey,
got to get used to it.
I know, man. Hey, if this is what it's about, I'm all for it. Sign me up, man.
Here you are, and people talk about your age. Hangman Page
Sure.
has talked about your age. Like, age, you throw that out the window, Kyle. Like,
Yeah.
you are one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, in this moment of 2025.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
You got this big match coming up for the world championship. Like, just talk about that. Like,
Mm.
what this year has been for you and how big this match is for you coming up on Saturday.
It's surreal, honestly. I mean, anyone that grows up dreaming of being a pro wrestler thinks about that big first world title win. Nick, I'm sure you had the same, man.
Of
Like
course.
you dream about exactly how it's going to happen, what it's going to look like, to not only be in that position, but last night to touch with my own hands for the first time the AEW World Title. It felt very surreal. It felt like a very long time coming. Like yeah, I've pictured that moment for 15 years, whatever it is. So it feels crazy that it's here. It feels like it's crazy that it's a couple of days away. But I've always had this feeling this is where I'm meant to be. So yeah, I'm excited more than anything.
It sounds like the back and forth between you and Hangman is from Hangman's, you're saying you're not ready to saying, you have to prove yourself or be a man and do everything on your
Mm.
own this weekend. Not just on the show. How much inside you, as you said, it's surreal that the moment is here because we all picture it. I
Yeah.
picture it being handed the world title and losing it 10 minutes later. Like every boy dreams when they're growing up. Uh, but it really is it's a moment for fans, and I hope for you, like looking in, are you looking at this weekend going, I am going to step this up and deliver, and then this starts cementing my full-time legacy? Or is there something where you're like, I need something to prove to people inside that ring and outside of
Mm.
it? Or is it, I've done the work, I've done the homework, and now get my ass there this weekend, and then I'm on overdrive with muscle memory, and I'm going to take over the show? Which aspect are you seeing that, in the ring and kind of behind the scenes for this weekend?
For me, yeah, I think it definitely is about I think in pro wrestling you get these moments to kind of elevate yourself. I think this is kind of my chance to like I've had a couple of them throughout my career, but I think this is the one that really it puts me in that main event top guy spot. If I go out there, I deliver that I know I can, I do what I know I can do. Obviously, I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. I always do. But if I go out there and I know I can deliver, yeah, I think it goes a long way in cementing me as a top guy in AEW and hopefully as a main event level guy in AEW. And yeah, after that, I hope it's just yeah, nobody can deny that I belong there. I think that's what I'm going out there to prove.
And I think, I honestly, Kyle, I think you've already proved that. Like you saying about
Thank you.
cemented, I think you already have cemented your place. And I've mentioned this on the show so many times about what you're able to do in the ring, but also what you're able to do as a character and a personality. At Wrestle Dream, last October, you took
Mm.
a big leap and a big chance on yourself in a complete character change. And
Yeah.
like, listen, I know what it's like. I used to have long hair, and because of a job I got, I had to cut my hair. It
Oh
was
yeah.
the most difficult decision. I still don't think I made the right one, but it was the most difficult decision of cutting that hair. For you, listen, knowing where you wanted to be, knowing the direction your character was going into, what
Yeah.
was it like in that moment to do that and to cut that hair?
Dude, it was pretty cool. It was a cool feeling. I it all came about. It was very like very chill. I was sick of the blonde hair, so it was kind of one of those things that I was like, hey, it as all good pro wrestlers do, they go, hey, I want to shave my head. Can we use it in some way? Like, I think it would be
Yes.
cool, whatever. Hair versus hair, something. I don't know. But then yeah, it just ended up being it was a cool way to symbolize that change. I think I was ready for it. I didn't know how impactful it would kind of be and what like a turning point it would end up being. But yeah, in hindsight, I think it was the perfect way to kind of introduce this change, introduce this new character. So yeah, I'm stoked with how it came off. It was it was very it was nerve-wracking because I hadn't had a shaved head since I was 5 years old or something like that. I'd had long hair my whole life. I was like, oh no, what if I have a weird shaped head? So in that regard, nerve-wracking, but yeah, in hindsight, it was very cool, I think.
Is there any aspect going into this weekend, like the story with you and Hangman is he's like, you're not ready, you're too young. We'll see how you go. And you say, we all picture this moment of getting a chance to just touch that title or
Mm.
get the moment to have that title match, that world title match. Do you think going in, is there anything not on TV that you go, okay, the reason when you are this young and people say like, oh, you're not ready, but you're not ready till you win that big one, and then you got a chance to go, all right, we're off and running, and now I prove everybody wrong. Is there anything in your mind that you think you're not a 10 out of 10 out of, you're like, oh, because we just talked about you shaved your head, badass promo, coming
Yeah.
along, killing it in the ring, doing crazy leaps and dives, and I mean that figuratively and literally. Is there anything that you go, I'm a 9.5 here and I'm really working on getting this aspect because then no one can deny me?
Yeah, I think for me it still comes back to promos. I think being an independent wrestler, wrestling for New Japan and whatever, you never really get that chance to it's a totally different thing on TV, those promos and like the stories that you have to try and tell with them. And I think that's something I'm still getting comfortable with. I haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to do that. I think the first time I ever had a live microphone was in the feud with Will Ospreay. And then it was a couple of months in between the times that I had a live microphone in my hand. I think the next time was when I was feuding with Adam Cole for the TNT belt. So I think now I'm starting to find my feet in this Hangman story. I've enjoyed the couple of things that we've gotten to do out there. I feel a little bit more comfortable, but I think, yeah, if I was to win the world title this Saturday, going forward, I think the biggest thing would just be, yeah, I want a microphone in my hand every week. I want to get comfortable when I'm out there. I don't want to be stressing about like, oh my God, what are the 12 things that I had to say? What's the monologue that I prepared before this? I want to get out there and I want to get comfortable, be present in the moment and really, yeah, hammer home that character work and getting that character across on TV, I think.
All right, so Kyle, it's not if, it's when you win the championship on
Mhm.
Saturday.
Thank
So
you,
let's
thank
talk.
you.
You talked about like getting comfortable with the microphone and cutting promos, and I
Mm.
know it's less than 24 hours ago, but Nick and I started the show this morning talking about the contract signing.
Mhm.
How proud are you of that segment from last night? Because not only did you hang with Hangman Page, but you knocked him out in the war of words last night in that contract. Like, how proud are you of what you were able to accomplish last
Yeah,
night?
yeah, very man. I like I said, promos are something that I'm still getting comfortable with, but I think last night was probably the best and most comfortable I've felt out there on the mic. Um, and yeah, I think when you have a story, a feud going into a pay-per-view, one of those things that I always uh was not gobsmacked by, but like you see those go home dynamites, and there's these awesome face to faces, these awesome contract signings that just make you watch and you go, oh my God, I am so excited to see that match this weekend. And that was what I wanted to achieve when I went out there yesterday. That was the goal. And it's hard for me to say, but yeah, I would like to think we did a pretty good job.
especially when it comes to those contract signings. It's much like a wedding on TV. We know that it's not just going to go through and, hey, the happy couple leaves and drives away. Like, there is something when it comes to a contract signing where we all expect someone's going through a table, somebody's exploding, something's going down. And when you don't have that aspect of it, and you know in the back of your head, you go, this really has to deliver. I
Yeah.
have to step up here more than I even normally do, because you're not getting that guaranteed attraction at the end of it. And watching you, like, since you shaved your head, you dress like an asshole with your suit and your ankles showing. Like, it's,
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, you look great, but like, you know the deal. Like, we're
Oh,
booing
it's the
you
idea,
because
bro.
that's the deal. So we see all the smarmy aspects of it, and then you have this moment now, and the pressure's on, and you said you're working on promos and getting your character ready to go. Is there anyone you lean on, like in pop culture or movies or even wrestling, that you went, man, when this guy said this that one time, I'm gonna have that mindset when it comes to, because we have to knock this out of the park because there is no physicality here. Is there anything you lean on that way?
Yeah, I think I've really been trying to not so much lean on like inspiration from other people at this point. I think since my head shave and everything, I gotten so many like comparisons to other people. I'm really trying to hammer home like my own path and carve out my own path. I think the guys that I look at, even still, when it comes to promos, I think, man, every time I watch Cena, every time I watch one of his promos, I am left with the feeling of this dude is the greatest on the microphone that I have ever witnessed. And I just have that feeling. And that's kind of something that I strive to achieve for, like that kind of level on the mic. The Miz was one of my guys growing up. So that's another one that I still listen to and watch and go, oh my God, he's so good on the mic. So there are people that, yes, I probably look to, but I am trying now to not specifically draw inspiration from them, more so like, okay, how do I get to that level, some type thing.
It's hard. It's a struggle because I know for me, people still say I'm a clone of Fee Waybill. But I want to talk about the AEW fan base for a second because there's no more loyal fan base than the AEW sickos,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I remember in February, and Nick and I were doing the show. You had the match with Will Ospreay, February of 2025 in Australia. I said on this show that that was a mistake
Oh,
because
I remember. Don't you worry.
all right, so but the AEW fan base killed me for it. But here's the thing, Kyle. I stand by what I said
Bro.
because I was like, man, this is Kyle Fletcher returning home to Australia. I didn't think it was the right position for Will Ospreay and you because
Sure.
I thought there was an opportunity and a chance that crowd would be on your side because of all the success that you've had with AEW. Obviously, I was wrong because you do your character and personality so right. But was I crazy to think that, Kyle?
No, I think even I showed up that day and talking about the match, whatever, people would ask like, "Oh, what do you think's gonna happen today?" And my genuine answer was like, "I have no idea." You kind of in those situations, you have to go out there and just be prepared for anything. I was totally
Yeah.
prepared for the crowd to flip and to cheer me, but I mean, it's just a testament to Kenny and Osprey. They're just two of the greatest to ever do it. So it's like, I don't know, I guess how can you boo them, right? Um, so yeah, I was in the same boat. I wasn't certain it was gonna go either way. But yeah, I just tried to go out there and kind of have an open mind and be ready to work on the fly if need be to kind of cover it up. But I don't think you were crazy at all. No.
But Kyle, and you know, you're giving Kenny and Osprey credit, but the reason I ate crow, and I'm still eating crow, the AEW fan won't let me forget what I said back in February. But I got to give the credit to you as well because of this character you portray, and it's so easy to boo. Like you have to take some credit for that as well, because as much as I think the fans wanted to cheer for you, because here's our hero returning home, it's the way you are. It's impossible to cheer you. So
Yeah.
you got to take some credit too.
I'm working on that part still. Still not something I'm great at. I still think I have a room to grow. So
Okay.
I appreciate it, but yeah, I can always be better.
Is there some aspect, you said you have a room to grow that totally ties in right here. Like
Mm,
you're with Don Callis, one of the
mhm.
most booed guys on the entire show.
Yeah.
Is when you say there's room to grow, are you like watching what he's doing? And one, there's so many aspects here. You're trying to
Mm,
separate yourself also and make your own heat
yeah.
and go your own path, but also enjoying that. So we're not all cheering you when you come out. It helps.
Yeah.
You know, you like I said, dress like an asshole.
Of
Don's
course.
there. Is there some aspect that you've learned from him that you've applied to yourself? Going, this guy, he's the most booed guy on the show. You're
Yeah.
gonna get there,
Yeah.
but it's at the moment, it's him. Is there something you've taken from him that other people don't realize or see behind the scenes to
Yeah,
apply?
absolutely. I think almost every time we work together, he has some kind of tidbit of knowledge and something that he tries to put in my brain to try and think of whilst I'm out there. But the biggest thing that I've learned from him, I want to say, is just like with his promos and the heat that he gets, he doesn't he doesn't plan a single thing that he's going to say when he goes out there. He goes out there and he is so present and he is purely just I'm sure he has an idea of what he wants to say, but he's purely riffing it and just reacting to what's happening. And I think that's something that I really am striving to also get comfortable with. Um and the other thing that he says is with promos, like nothing you can say is better than the heat you're going to get. Which is something that's really stuck with me. I think I'm so, like I said before, I'm still so okay. Got to get exactly what my wording is, exactly what order, exactly what line, whatever. But he's right. If I'm getting heat, it's much better to just sit there and revel in it as opposed to trying to rattle off 100 different things. So yeah, I mean, I'm constantly learning from Don, but I think that's probably the biggest thing for sure.
Kyle, how are you reacting to and adjusting to being a star? Like here, you're on national TV every single week. You
Yeah.
know, AEW is a global product. You know, how have you adjusted to that?
Yeah, I think I still am, and I think I probably still will be for a while. I think, man, it's hard. Like I'm 26 years old. This is all very new to me. This whole lifestyle is very new to me. I've only been with AEW for 2 years full time now, and
Mm.
then it's been a year since this new character change. Everything's happened very quickly, so I think it'll probably take a while for it to feel totally real. I think there's still I'm still adjusting to the amount of pressure I think that's on me and and the pressure that I put on myself. But every time I start to feel overwhelmed by it or anything like that, I just try and remind myself that this is where I've wanted to be my entire life, and I think this is always where I was meant to be. And so I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, trying to think about one segment at a time, one match at a time, trying not to get too big picture of it all. I think if I think too big picture, that's when I start to get a bit overwhelmed. Like, oh man, I got to keep this up for 10 years or whatever. But yeah, just trying to put one foot in front of the other one day at a time and just trying to get better every single day.
Without going too big picture and just going one step forward here,
Mm,
it comes to this weekend. I was gonna say if, but Dave says when you
when,
win this weekend, what and you do get a one night to take a minute off before you start worrying about what you're gonna say on Wednesday and address the audience or your legacy from here
yeah.
on out. Saturday afternoon, you win the title.
Hmm.
Not on TV. What are you doing to celebrate? What happens? Are you making a phone call? Are you taking pictures? Are you ordering stuffed crust pizza? There's a frozen cookie cake, sheet of cake coming to your house. What happens?
Oh yeah. I'm very, very heavy into my like nutrition and dieting stuff. So this whole week I'm doing and I don't know if you're into your bodybuilding, but a mock peak week essentially. So it's since Monday, zero carbs. Tonight I'll have my first carb meal, carving up into the thing. So it's very strict for this whole week so that I will have in my bag, taking to the venue all my favorite snacks, donuts, Sour Patch Kids, all of the above. The first thing I will do is straight back to the locker room and shove them down my throat.
Wait,
Lay
what
that
kind of
night.
donuts? What kind of donuts are we talking here?
So I'm either an original glazed guy or a strawberry iced guy, or a strawberry jelly powder donut
Old
guy.
school. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I'm very bland when it comes to my tastes. So that's the very first thing, and that night it'll probably be pizza back at the hotel. And then yeah, I hopefully a lot of my friends will be there. We'll just kick it. We'll eat some pizza and we'll chat about whatever the hell comes to mind. I don't know. Yeah. And then I'll probably be up till 3 or 4 a.m. Honestly, I might not sleep. The adrenaline post pay per
Right.
view, post big match, that adrenaline is a killer. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably just be up all night, just trying to live in the moment for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know, Nick, what he's saying in essence, he's cutting weight for the big meat. That's what that's what he's doing. He's
Yes,
cutting
pretty
weight,
much.
cut weight for the big meat.
Yes.
And Kyle, the first time I got to meet you was on the Jericho cruise
Mm-hmm.
in January of 2024. I don't know how we survived. We were both on the deck in
Oh,
high
God.
winds, which
Yeah.
was insane.
I was wrestling in high winds, man. That was, man, standing on that top rope was one of the craziest feelings. It was hilarious.
But in all honesty, I can't wait for your match. I can't wait for you to hold that championship above your head. And Kyle, this has been one hell of a year. It's been a great journey. I can't wait for Saturday. And thank you so much for the time. I truly appreciate
Likewise.
it.
No, thank you guys for having me, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I'll see you guys Saturday, huh?